Hey everyone, it's Casey. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the Dewey's 24-hour readathon. So it is Saturday, April 28th. And yeah, Dewey's is today. I'm so excited. This will be my first time ever doing it. It's only my second readathon ever. So I'm super excited for this. I've been waiting all week for this just to be able to read all day and just get like caught up in the excitement of Dewey's. So if you don't know, which I'm sure you do if you're watching this, but Dewey's is a 24-hour readathon where everyone in the world tries to read for 24 hours and we all start at the same time. So in my time zone, we start at 7 a.m. And it is currently 6:49, so I have about 11 minutes to get this done so I can start reading. I did do a Dewey's TBR, but I'll leave it linked below, but it's going to change. So let me go over kind of the books I'm thinking about. For sure, the first one I'm going to be reading is The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. I do a weekly vlog, weekly reading vlog that I'll link. Oh my gosh, it's too early to be shooting videos. But I will leave that link below so you can see me reading this all week. I'm on page 137. It was a slow week for reading. So I'm on page 137. This book has 300 pages, so I have about 160 left. So this will be the first book I finish. I'm hoping to finish it this morning, like fairly quickly, to kind of get it over with. Essentially, I'm liking it. It's a little bit slow, so I'm hoping this last half picks up quickly. But yeah, I've been reading it literally since Monday, so I'm kind of ready to wrap up this story and go on to other things. So if you watch my TBR, I was also going to read this. This is the Little Gold Book of Yes Attitude. This was in my May TBR that my mom chose for me. So it's like it's one of those like self-help books. I'm going to leave this in my TBR because I think it'll go really quickly. I think this is something that I can read maybe 20 pages here, 20 pages there to kind of give me a break today. So I am going to leave this in. I also talked about reading The March. Oh, sorry. It's got bad glare. But The March. This is a graphic novel by John Lewis. John Lewis is a congressman and a civil rights leader. So it's a graphic novel that follows his life in the civil rights movement. I'm going to take that off my TBR. I still want to read that. The reason why my TBR is changing is because there's a book that I really want to read that came back up. I had always wanted to read it since it got released in February, but because of recent news events, it made me want to read it like ASAP. So let me tell you the book. It's I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. It is one woman's obsessive search for the Golden State Killer. So if you guys didn't know, the Golden State Killer was, I'm not going to go into his crimes because this is obviously not like a crime video, but he was like a murderer and rapist from the 70s and 80s, and he was never caught. It was an unsolved crime until like Tuesday they caught him, and he's like a 72-year-old man in California. So this book, I had heard a lot of hype about this. I listened to a lot of true crime podcasts, and so this book was like really talked about in February when it came out, and everyone says it's so good. It's written so good, and it's just an interesting book besides the premise that I'm super excited about. But it's written by Michelle McNamara, who had a true crime blog that I don't know, I've never looked at it to be honest, but she, wrote about true crimes, and she actually she was writing this book and actually passed away like 2 years ago. So her husband, who's an actor, Patton Oswalt, and so he finished it, and then like her lead researcher and some people that had been working with her like worked to finish the last part of the book after she passed away. Everything I've heard is excellent, and just because of the like the fact that the killer has been found super recently makes me really want to read that book. So I might talk a little more about, I don't know, true crime things when I'm actually reading it, but that is what I'm going to read after I finish The Wicked Deep. I'm so excited. I actually went to buy I'll Be Gone in the Dark at like my bookstore. I went to... It's sold out basically everywhere. It's sold out on Amazon. It's sold out at Barnes & Noble. I like called my local store, the closest store, and it's sold out. It was sold out at my actual bookstore I go to, Books A Million. Yeah, it's just sold out everywhere. So I'm actually gonna have to get the Kindle version, which I don't mind reading on my Kindle. I think having a booktube channel, I like to have the physical book sometimes. But, you know, I'm dying to read this book. So, anyway, I'm super excited for that. So, my plan is to read this. I'm going to read for a little while. I'm going to go to McDonald's and get breakfast. And then, yeah, I'm going to maybe rearrange my bookshelves because I want to get, like, a different background. This isn't my normal one. But I want to kind of change my background for my normal videos. So, I'm probably going to do that. And then, yeah, I have no plans really until tonight, but yeah, so I'm so excited. It is now 6:56. I'm just gonna start 4 minutes early, don't tell anyone, but yeah, I'll take you along today. So it doesn't look like I've moved, but I have. It's now 8:45. I just ran to McDonald's to get breakfast. I got a sausage biscuit. It's going to be so delicious. But before I eat, I wanted to tell you, I'm on page like 189 now. So I have about 115 pages left. I've read about 50 in the hour that I read. And, you know, I don't really have any more additional thoughts. I think I just kind of need at this point to finish the book and give my final thoughts. So anyway, so I'm going while I eat, because I don't like eating when I read. Like, I'll snack, but I don't want to eat my sausage biscuit and read. So while I eat, I think I'm gonna watch a couple of YouTube videos. So we'll see what's out there for me to watch. It is now 10:30 and I'm on page like 230 of The Wicked Deep. So in total so far I've read about 100 pages. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break because I'm kind of getting super tired. And I just read for like almost an hour, like straight. So I'm gonna take a little break and rearrange my bookcases. So these bookcases are in my spare bedroom, and I want to start using them as the backdrop for my main videos. But the thing I don't like about it is, so I'm standing up right now, and see how like I'm taller than the bookcases. So I think what I'm gonna do is like keep the same book setup, but just move it down, and then so I could be sitting down, and then there would be some dimension. So I'm gonna do that. I'll probably do like a time lapse. I'm gonna probably put on some YouTube videos while I do it. But let me just show you real quick. So these are the bookcases, and so what I'm gonna do is move like these books. I'm probably gonna move them over here, and then move this kitchen stuff up there, and then we'll see if the background works. Here's what I came up with. I like it. It's not like the best background I've ever seen, but I think it's good, and I think the lighting's pretty good. Yeah, it's better than being able to see the bottom of my TV. And also, you know, then I can, this is my spare bedroom, and so then I can like leave my setup up and everything. Not that I have a setup, it's like 2 boxes stacked on top of each other, but you know, I can leave it up all the time. So I don't know, this is what we're working with. So what time is it? It's 11:12, so I'm gonna go read some more, try and get maybe like 50 more pages in, and then I'll probably get lunch. I'm hoping to wrap that book up. Like I said, I think I have less than 100 pages left. So it is 1:30 now. I just finished reading The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. I gave it like 3 stars. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was as spectacular as people are making it out to be. Overall, I'm glad I've read it, and I would recommend it for people. I just don't think it was exactly my cup of tea. But yeah, just 3 stars. Anyway, I am starving. I'm gonna go get lunch. And then after I do that, when I get home, I think I'm gonna start reading this little gold book of Yes Attitude. Like I said, this one is kind of just like a super easy, like, self-help book. So I think, I don't know if I'll read this all in one chunk, but I'm at least gonna start it. I guess let me give you a page count update. So all in all, I think I started this with 130 pages. I think that's what I said. And it's 308. So what's that? 170 basically. So I've already read 170 pages today, which is actually a really good reading day. If I didn't read anything else today, that'd be really good for me. I mean, obviously I'm still going to read more because that's the whole point of Dewey's. But yeah. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy that I finally finished reading this. It is 5:44. I can't remember the last time I updated, but I obviously took a shower. I've done some reading. I've done some like cleaning around. So let me tell you about my reading. So I started reading the Yes Attitude. I just ended chapter 3. I'm on like page 83, I believe. Out of, it has like 198 pages. And as much as I hate to say it, I'm actually kind of liking it, and getting a little bit out of it. So, it just talks a lot about being positive, obviously, and having a positive attitude. And one of the things that really struck me, like one of my aha moments or whatever, was that you should have enough self-confidence in yourself and be, have a positive outlook on who you are, that you want to help other people succeed. And that's something that really strikes a chord with me. It's something I know I struggle with personally, especially at work, is sometimes feeling like, well, why should I help them? That person doesn't like me, so why should I help them? But it is something I want to work on. It's just, like lifting other people up, and who cares if they don't like me? That's their problem. So I am liking it so far. I'm actually, kind of happy that I'm reading it. I think hopefully it'll have lasting effects, because I certainly want to be a more positive person. And so that's one of the books I'm reading, and I actually just started I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. I read the forward, that's the word I was looking for, the forward by Gillian Flynn, and then I read the prologue. So I didn't really talk about this book. I can't remember how much I said about it. So this book is about the Golden State Killer, who is also known as the Green Area Rapist and the original Night Stalker. He was a rapist and a murderer who was active, I guess is the right word, was active in the late 70s and early 80s in both Northern and Southern California. And he got away with it for 40 years until last Tuesday. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. But, yeah, he just got caught. He's like a 72-year-old man. Anyway, there's speculation that this book just came out in February. It was a pretty big hit. And so there's speculation that maybe her book had to do something with it. But I think this may even be the first true crime book I've ever read. I do like true crime. Like, I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts. Like, I love My Favorite Murder, the podcast. And they had talked about this case before. And then they just did like this week after he got caught, they did like a special episode about it. So I like true crime, and I had been meaning to read this book. I just never got around to it. And now that he's caught, obviously I want to read it. I don't know if I've read enough to tell you if I like it or not. The prologue was good. So, but anyway, I'm only like probably 12 pages into it, not that far. So yeah, so it's 5:50. I'm gonna just read a little bit more of this because it's like my easiest read. And then at some point I'm gonna get dinner. I'm gonna watch a show called Live PD. I've talked about it in my weekend vlog before. But it's a wonderful show. And tonight, it's on Friday and Saturdays. And so tonight, one of my favorite police officers is going to be on it. So I'm definitely going to watch that, but it doesn't start till 8. So I have about 2 hours of reading time that I can get in. So yeah, I will keep you posted. I just wanted to come on here and share something that I read in the Yes Attitude. So he's talking about like when someone yells at you, instead of saying sorry, you should say, "Thank you. I appreciate you bringing this to my attention. Now that I know about it, I can fix it right away." Like, that's such a dope response. Imagine, I was just imagining my boss, like, getting mad at me for something, and instead of, like, normally I get mad back, but instead of doing that, say thank you, like, her mind would blow up. That would be amazing. I made sure to dog ear that page so I could come back to it. Like, that's such a good response because it's just so confident. Like, it's such a self-confident response. Oh my god, I cannot wait. I'm gonna make her yell at me on Monday just so I could say that back. Perfect plan. What could go wrong? Hey guys, it looks like I haven't moved, but I can assure you I have. It is now 9:15. I am so tired right now, but I'm gonna try and make it a little bit longer. I've just been reading. I haven't read that much since I last checked in, but still, this Yes Attitude. I'm on page 143 now. Yeah, I think that my plan is to go to bed fairly soon and then to wake up and read a couple hours in the morning before Dewey's ends. It ends here at 7. So I think that between, if I read like a few more pages tonight of this, and then I can wake up and finish it in the morning. So that's good. I probably won't read any more of All We Got in the Dark, even though I really want to. I'm excited to read that book, but I kind of at this point just kind of want to finish this up and get it off of my to be read pile and things like that. But yeah, overall, so far, I'm excited with how Dewey's has gone. It's a lot more reading than I normally would have done, even though it's nothing like, like 1,200 pages or anything. But for me, this is a good Saturday spent, like a lot more reading than I probably would have done. So, hey, it is now 6:26, so there's still about 35 minutes left of the Read-A-Thon. But I've actually been up since 5 because I wanted to finish this Yes Attitude book, and I did. Overall, I did like it. I got things out of it, which is like the whole point of the book. Some things I didn't like about it, which me even talking about this is very anti his attitude, but he talks a lot about like pitching and like selling things, so it's clearly like if you're like a business person or in sales especially, I think that this would be pretty applicable to you. So those parts I kind of just ignored because I don't sell things in my work life. He also got a little bit repetitive. Like, I think this honestly could have been a shorter book, because there were times, and not like a ton, but there were times where he specifically used like even the same words as he had used before. So I don't know if he like had to make a certain like page number or if he did that on purpose to like reiterate the points. I don't know. It was just something I noticed. And honestly, because I read this all in essentially one day, maybe that's why I noticed it. If you were reading this chunk by chunk, I don't know if you would pick up on it. Yeah, I think, this book isn't perfect. There were things that I didn't like about it. Well, obviously, I just told you what they were. But in general, too, I think that he ignores, like, different personality types. I think he's clearly an extrovert, whereas I'm an introvert. And so I think he would probably say that I don't have a positive attitude just because I tend to not like social situations, so I'm probably not as friendly, outright friendly as he would want. Overall, I enjoyed it. I did get some few kernels. Oh, one thing that he like dogs is the news. Like, he goes on for several pages, like, repeatedly about how you should not watch the news, especially the local news, because it's a complete waste of time, and how you shouldn't even watch the weather. Like, if you want to know what the weather is, just go outside. Which, if you've ever lived in a place that has volatile weather, like, I don't know, like, that's just humorous. I was thinking, I used to live in Oklahoma, and thinking, like, oh, I should just go outside and see if there's a tornado. Like, no. But I do understand his premise that the news typically is negative, and you know, he went on about just how it's like a waste of an hour, and if you spend an hour every single day, you know, for a year, it's like 24 days or something. I don't know. But I also think that's really dangerous to not pay attention to the news. I don't think that that's good for, like, everyone in America can't not be watching the news. Like, that's like super dangerous to be uninformed. So I think the thing is with these like self-help books is just, you don't have to take this whole book and apply it to your life. Like, you can kind of piecemeal, like, take a little from this book, take a little from that. Because ultimately what it's doing is it's making you think about your attitudes, and hopefully, you know, changing what you don't like about yourself. Like, there's definitely some things that I think tomorrow going into work I'm gonna try. One thing I really liked about his like philosophy is, so like, say at work someone asks you a question and maybe it's clearly not like your job, or you don't know how to do it, or you know, he says, instead of basically saying, well, that's not my job, or go ask Samantha, he would say, to come at it with a yes attitude. Like, yes, we can do that, but I think the best approach would be maybe to ask Samantha, you know, like, frame it in like a positive way, instead of being like, I don't know, go ask Samantha, which is what I normally say. I only have about 30 minutes left at this point of the read-a-thon, so I don't know. I'm gonna call it quits. I want to go and eat breakfast and kind of, I don't know, relax. But so overall, so this book was 200 pages, and I read like 10 pages of I'll Be Gone in the Dark, and then I read 130 pages of The Wicked Deep. So overall, I read 340 pages. Is that right? 200 plus 100 plus 40, yeah. So overall, I read 340 pages, which, when you compare it to other people, it's not that much, but that's a lot for me. I'm a slow reader, and so I'm excited that I read 340 pages, and that I finished 2 books, and that I'm still gonna be reading I'll Be Gone in the Dark, and I'm so excited for that. But yeah, overall, I would say it was successful. This was super fun, and I can't wait to do another read-a-thon. Probably the next one I'll do will be Booktube-a-thon in like June or July, whenever that is. But yeah, if you don't already subscribe to my channel, please subscribe. And I post like weekly reading vlogs, so you can check those out too. And then obviously like other videos. But okay, thanks.